Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to another build order video. Today I'm gonna go over an extremely strong Zerg vs Terran all-in build order that works very well for about the last year or so. I've personally been doing this every now and then. I don't really like playing macro every single game, so every now and then I switch it up and I usually go for this Road Ling Baneling all-in versus Terran. Now it's important to note that this build order is an all-in, so if the build doesn't work, you just sort of lose. You put all your eggs in one basket, you go over one big attack, and if you don't do a sufficient amount of damage, there's a really big chance that you will lose the game. So before you start posting mean comments down below that it didn't work because the Terran scouted it, I'm sorry, I just warned you. No, but seriously, it is a very strong build. I think it has about 60 to 70% win, especially in the lower leagues on the ladder. It will probably even be higher than 70% win if you execute this properly, and I would definitely recommend you give it a try, even if it's just to mix up your playstyle every now and then. Now currently in Zerg vs Terran, it is really the Terran that is dominating the early to middle part of the game, right? Usually they go for a Reaper opener, then they switch into Hellions, and then later on maybe some Banshee drops or Health Badge drops, and then they start piling on all that aggression in the middle part of the game. And most of the time, for a lot of Zerg players, it's really difficult to catch that break where you actually can take the map control back. Now in this build, you do that. You do get a couple of roaches out early on to deal with all of this stuff, and you actually take the map control back, which is very nice. And most of the time, I've noticed that Terran players do not expect this. They're like, wait, what? I'm supposed to be the one that is roaming the map. So first off, this build order really confuses the Terran player. Now other than that, we are gonna make it look like we are completely standard, right? We don't want the Terran player to know that we're gonna go for an all-in. So we still go for a Hatchery first, we still go for the double gas around the 5 minutes, we still go for 4 queens, we still go for the 6-minute third base. It just all looks very normal, but then all of a sudden we stop spending money, wait for the Roach Warren to finish up, and start pumping out non-stop units. Alright, so as you might have expected, this build order starts out with an overload on 9 supply. After that, at 15 supply, you want to start your hatchery. Then you make a couple more drones, and at 16 supply, you start your spawning pool. And at 17 supply, you start an overlord. When the spawning pool finishes, you want to start double queens as soon as possible. And you also want to start a couple of zerglings just for defense against the reapers. Keep in mind, we don't have link speed early on, so you're gonna have to micro a little bit early game. But by now, you probably had sufficient practice versus reapers anyway, because pretty much every single Terran player goes for reapers. Once the first queens spawn, you want to start the other two right away and inject with the first ones obviously, and then collect them in the natural for any kind of defense once again. At the 5-minute mark, you want to start double gas geysers. When the third and the fourth queen spawn, you want to inject with those as soon as possible, but the gas guys are gonna finish up as well, so you need to handle a couple of things at once. Right around the 5-minute and 45-second mark, you want to start sending a drone over towards the third base, so you can start your third hatchery at exactly 6 minutes. When you have your first 100 gas, make sure you start metabolic boost. At this point, you want to make sure you get all the saturation that you need off of 2 bases, so that means about 16 drones in the main base on minerals, 3 and 3 in gas, the 16 drones in a natural as well, and once you have that, you want to start your Roach Warren. A little bit after the Roach Warren, also start your Baneling Nest. At this point, when you are max saturated, you got your Roach Warren and your Baneling Nest incoming as well as your third base, you want to start a couple of overlords, and then you actually want to wait. Now this is the most tempting moment and the most scary one. Hellions are roaming the map right now, so you gotta defend a little bit and micro with your queens. But at this point, you're just waiting for the Roach Warren to finish up. Once it does finish, you want to start about 8 or so roaches. You want to hotkey those right away with your zerglings, and after that you reinforce with only zerglings. Once the roaches spawn, you're gonna walk them across the map and take control of the watchtowers close to his base. Once you have control of the watchtowers, morph as many banelings as you possibly can. Keep in mind, we are still injecting and we are still reinforcing with only zerglings. One of the queens also has gone over towards the third base to start injecting right there, so we can get an enormous reinforcement with lings. Once the baneling's finished, don't hesitate and walk towards his natural, blow up the wall, and actually finish off the Terran opponent. Now in this specific game, I am not playing versus an opponent just for practice sake, and this is also how I would advise you to practice. So try this build order a couple of times without playing an opponent before you go on the ladder and give it an actual try versus real people. So yeah, that is pretty much it. A really strong Zerg vs Terran build order that is going to be very useful if you execute it properly, and I would definitely recommend you give it a try on the ladder. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button below and share it with your friends, and if you really liked it and you actually want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. It is a pretty red button. Once you click it, you will get a notification when I upload new videos, and trust me, there's a whole lot more StarCraft 2 coming your way very soon. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!